Je m'appelle Edwina. Merci beaucoup. Ça va.
Bonjour les au fait.
Every time you come back from even a week in France or a month in France or 10 months in France, the question is, oh, so are you fluent in French now? I actually think though, I wish I'd known to just say, yeah, I'm pretty good at French now. The people that usually ask are just people that have never tried to learn a language, I found.
True.
And so if they've never tried to learn a language, then their understanding of fluent is, oh, you can speak to lots of different people.
Yeah.
Je peux.
But you're gonna get the question. People ask me now, and now I feel more like entitled to say, sure, I'm fluent. But after my years in au pair, I was like, yeah, I'm fluent. I didn't speak any French before becoming an au pair. So how much can you progress from 0 in 12 months to fluency? Like, you can get close to fluency by being fully immersed for a year, sure. But are you fully immersed in Paris? Absolutely not. Obviously, when you're going through a tough time, you're acclimating into this new country, you're gonna wanna speak to someone about it.
Yeah.
And if you can only do that in English, obviously, there's a certain—
do it in English.
Exactly, obviously you're gonna do it in English, and there's a certain level of yourself that you can get across, you can communicate in your maternal language. I think I was lucky in that I was exposed to French more than some other au pairs because my kids spoke French to me. I had to speak to them in French, and the same thing with my host family.
My kids spoke fluent English, my host parents spoke fluent English, like fluent English. So there was no chance to be, actually my kids and host parents would speak fluent English and they would laugh at me if I tried to speak in French. Laugh. So obviously that didn't really encourage me to speak.
And that's so French. The worst part of learning language, I think, is just sheer embarrassment all the time. You just have to do it and just like have confidence in yourself. If you make a mistake and you just sound like an idiot, it doesn't matter, you got your message across. Yeah. And that's why I was lucky, because I didn't have an option. Yeah. Like I had to just speak really bad broken French until I got more comfortable and better at it.
And if they laughed at you, it would be like, well, no goûter today. Désolé.
And last thing is, the amount of French that you go home with entirely depends on how hard you work and your environment. You are not going to learn French by just being in France. I think that's the biggest misconception ever. Au pairs are there to speak English to kids, so unless you go out and seek French, you're not going to speak French.
I hate the idea that you're there to learn the language. That's what most of your family and friends will think. Like, you've gone there to learn the language. It's like, I actually went there for a different life or for the cultural exchange, and I want to learn the language, but it's so hard. So long as you know the introductory phrases to I need, I want, give me, help.
My name is au revoir, bonjour, but
Also, I think all you really need in Paris is...
Also, after my first year, I realized that, sure, I could speak French, but what I was actually a lot better at was acting French and making French sounds and not actually saying anything of substance. Aimez nous s'inscrire. And if you have any personal stories about learning French or not learning French, you can submit them to our website at aupairs.com. That's all for now, folks. Au revoir.